my name is Jamil, and this is a presentation on how NASA plans to return to the moon. To start off, why did we go to the moon, and how do we plan to go back? Well, we went to the moon around the mid-1900s during the Cold War. The Soviet Union and America had a really tight tension about building new technology and further advancing their technology. They started off not small, but they started off with nuclear weapons and just weapons for war. But eventually that evolved into something much greater. The moon. They wanted to see who can go to the moon first and started building spaceships and tons of spaceships. Eventually, America got to the moon first, and we really haven't gone back to the moon since then. Not being that it's necessarily impossible, but we just haven't had a reason or a drive to. That was until the 21st century, and now we just want to go back to further our research of life. But how do we plan to go back? Yes. Well, there's multiple tactics, specifically two, that I want to talk about, and there's a reason to go back. To start off, according to Jeff Kneiper in his documentation, Why Go the Pathway to the Moon, he states that NASA is going to use tactics similar to when it went to Antarctica. According to Tech Briefs and Why Going to the Moon Powers Humanity Forward, they state that NASA has built and created new technology that'll make it much easier to go to the moon. And finally, one of the many reasons, being in Alex Wilkins' newspaper, Why Going to the Moon may be more hospitable for terrestrial life than we thought. It'll help show how organisms can live on it and just research on the moon in general. But let's dig deeper into this on how to do it. To start off, Antarctica. NASA plans to use similar ideas and tactics from when they first went to Antarctica. After all, Antarctica and the moon share some similar qualities, most notably the temperature and just the severe climate. Both of them are beyond freezing, and I think that's one of the main reasons Jeff Kneiper brought up. Giving the astronauts, or putting them in a really cold and severe weather climate, helps mentally prepare them of what they're going to get themselves into. Antarctica was a long time ago from when we first went, but ever since then we've come a long way. Many people have gone to Antarctica, not just like NASA scientists or just extremely wealthy people. People have gone to Antarctica because it's become much more feasible because of our technology and further advancements. And that is something we want for the moon. And this is one of the main tactics they did that. And the advanced technology further showed that. For example, according to Tech Briefs and their documentation of Why Going to the Moon Powers Humanity Forward, they have made a new infrastructure called Artemis. Artemis is supposed to be able to withstand the moon's gravity, their climate, and just all around be able to be on the moon. This helps allow us to have a deeper exploration of the moon, a deeper understanding, and just to show what the moon really has to offer. And on a bit of a side note, this answers some conspiracy theories. Why haven't we gone to the moon back? Why haven't we gone back to the moon? Was it real? Was it fake? Well, no, it probably wasn't fake, and I don't think it was fake. I think that when we first went to the moon, it was desperate. We were desperate. And very, very unsafe. And I think now that we want to go back, NASA has no real rush. There's no other country racing us to go there first to show off their technology. We can take our time and make going to the moon much, much more safer. And my next point being, why you want to go back to the moon? Well, NASA's drive to the moon is simple: to further expand human development. There are 5 known organisms that can resist the moon's harsh climate. This is one of them, actually. And NASA saw this and trying to make the moon more feasible. If these organisms could live on the moon, is there a small chance humans could do it too? Going back to the moon can show and pave a way for humans to actually be on the moon. Maybe not live on it, but be there for longer than we did before, or be there for months maybe. And this could allow for further research on the moon and just overall further development for Earth. We can see what the moon has to offer, the resources it has, and just what it can give us. Most people look at the moon and think, oh, it's just a big rock. But is it really? We don't really know. There's still so much to learn about it. Not only that, this could further expand our plans to go to Mars. This going to the moon just really helps humanity as a whole. Finally, our conclusion. The newspapers, the articles, and everything that NASA has to offer really shows what they're going for. They just want to further human development. All their plans and tactics are going to Antarctica, the advancements, the reasons, it shows how hard they're trying. They will stop at nothing to go to what they believe is the impossible, the moon. They're trying to make it as safe as possible, studying as much as possible, researching as much as possible. And I think this is something that we as people can take advice from. Take down NASA as a corporation and look at it just as itself. We can take advice from them. We can look at them as inspiration. They are stopping at nothing to do the impossible, and we can learn from that. And we can really apply that to ourselves. We should stop at nothing to do what we want. We can do the impossible if we try our hardest, just like how NASA is. And I think we can really learn from that. Before I end off, I would like to say thanks to my resources that I use, Jeff Knipe, Tech Briefs, and Alex Wilkins. Thank you very much.